I feel like I'm way taller than you.
Do you just have like a...
I've got a tall torso.
I'm just gonna act like I'm just like chilling. All right.
Team Fun, back from Vegas.
Yeah. We had a fun weekend. Becca's goals. You did it.
I did it. I climbed the rainbow wall.
That was cool.
With Jenny, we did it. It was incredible.
It was good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, people are eager to hear about our episode recap. We feel so honored.
Yeah.
My goodness.
We filmed an awesome one with everyone, but London's in Zion, so who the heck knows when she'll be back with it.
Yeah. So we're gonna do one right now, so we don't leave you hanging and give you an update. So let's start. We start at the beginning of leg 4, and our clue says to find the house of Farak Bolsara, is that his name? Or whatever.
Remember, yeah.
And it said like if find his house or another one bites the dust. And like in that moment I was like, wow, I know that song lyric. That's weird. But I honestly didn't know that was Freddie Mercury's song or anything. So we just kind of, I don't know, we kind of went there pretty quickly, didn't we?
Yeah, I remember running in and running out, and I remember even getting interviewed, and they were asked, like, so do you remember what it looked like in there? And I was like, I think I remember the room was white.
Yeah, and it was, but that was it.
Yeah, we didn't really, that was one of the few places we didn't take a moment to look around.
Yeah, we were in the house of a legend.
Yeah, we just ran in, grabbed our clue and ran out, pretend like it was just another house.
Yep. So then the detour, lock or knock, right? So find the key in the chests or knock in the doors. So we chose lock. The reason we chose lock is because, so like, I was looking forward to like a stereotypical like Amazing Race needle in a haystack challenge, you know? So like you think the hay bales where they had to unroll all those hay bales and find like a flag, or like the tea challenge where they like had like this table with like 1,000 teas and they like taste to find the right one.
Where
like
they find an apple and a car full of apples.
Yeah, so like I love those challenges. So I was like, this is it. So
I was not excited about it. Floyd definitely had to convince me into that challenge. I hate needle in a haystack challenges. I think they're absurd.
They are, but that's why I love them. But then I think that's also why I would have never thought about the secret drawers, because I thought the goal of this challenge.
He's our puzzle guy.
Yeah, but I thought the goal of this challenge was just to like. There's all these chests. You have to lift all these heavy chests and find a key in only a few of them. So I thought the challenge was all about just being patient and being ambitious.
Physical.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But no, it was just I like honestly don't think I would have. I don't know. Maybe I would have, but in that moment, I definitely was not thinking of a secret compartment whatsoever.
We didn't think outside the box at all.
Literally,
no pun intended. Yeah.
Get it? Because they're boxes.
Yeah, there was one point where we were searching after we searched through like an entire room full of boxes, like lifting. They're heavy, and these are like really nicely made boxes or chests.
Yeah.
Artisan work. Ornate.
Yes.
Ornamental. And this is like this guy's livelihood is collecting these chests, and we're like trying to be careful with them, but we're also in a race and trying to stack and unstack them as quickly as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And at one point, I looked through some chests, and then Brooke came right behind me and looked through the exact same chest I had just looked through, and she pulls a key out of it, and I still didn't think like we're missing something.
Yeah.
Or like I knew we were missing something, but I just thought like I don't know what I thought. I just felt very confused and angry.
Yeah. I was thinking about this, and that's an example of, like, even when you're a super fan of The Amazing Race, when you go on The Amazing Race, they have a way to, like, make you, like, you think you know, but they'll, like, make sure they, like, catch you off guard. And, like, even if you're a super fan, you think you know the challenge, you don't know the challenge. So that's, like, that was a time where we were like, wow, we just really have to keep our minds open and realize that what looked like was going to be this, like, needle in a haystack challenge was actually a mental challenge in disguise. And we didn't think about that, so yeah.
In hindsight, would we have rather used the express pass than take help from another team? But we didn't know what was coming up in the next leg.
Yeah, so we had to.
At the time, we wanted to save it.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people have been asking, like, why haven't you used your express pass earlier? And, like, one reason is exactly what Becca just said. We didn't know if we were going to be hit with another incredibly even more difficult challenge later, and also we didn't want people to know that we had it, because then they'd know that we were lying to them and that, you know, and then we'd be a target. That basically put a target on our backs when there already hasn't been a target, and then for future U-turns, like, we just wanted to stay off of everyone's radar. So
there was a lot of paranoia with the express pass.
That was not aired. Yeah, so much.
Like, we were interviewed all the time, and I was like, made sure Floyd never ever said the word, or I never said the word express pass out loud during an interview. There was one point where Redmond came up to us in the airport and was like,
this was in Brazil.
Yeah, it was like early on. He's like, so when are you guys, he tried to intimidate us. So when are you guys going to play your express pass? And like, I almost broke at that moment. Like, I was pretty close, and we just smiled and hesitated just long enough for him to say, oh shoot, come on, who has it?
Yeah. It was really funny.
We're like, oh shoot, that was close.
Our code for when we were gonna use it was we were gonna be like, is the fun meter in blue?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember that? That was our code to like break it out.
What did we call it? Our little friend? Or
yeah, something like that.
We had a code name for it.
Honestly, when we were around other teams, we didn't even talk about it.
Yeah.
Because we were just like, nope. So,
yeah. And we never considered using it because we felt like it wasn't necessary unless we were in dead last.
Yeah.
So London has this crochet project called 1,000 Hearts, and she's given out way more than 1,000 at this point, and she crochets these cute little hearts and gives them out with a little tag that says something like, this is to brighten your day, take it, have it for as long as you need it, and then pass it on and brighten someone else's day. And so London had given me a heart, and that morning as we were leaving Zanzibar, we ran into Abdul in like the taxi, like, you know, hangout area.
Yeah.
And we ran back into him, and so I gave him the heart, and it was just awesome to see him again, and he was super excited to see us.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And yeah, we owe you a big one, Abdul, out there.
Someone from Zanzibar actually this past week friended me on Facebook. And I don't know, it wasn't Abdul, but it was someone, and I was like, oh, he probably has connections to Abdul.
Yeah,
so
his connect us to Abdul.
Our hero. So then we get on the ferry. And we know, like, so we're on the ferry for the longest time, and Team Lolo and Sarah and Shamir are not there yet. So we're all, like, rejoicing. Because, like, we had no idea if it was an elim leg. A lot of us were guessing it was a non-elimination leg, because we hadn't had one yet, and it was, like, leg 4, so it had to be non-elimination. But either way, we wanted to be safe. And eventually Lolo got on the boat just as it was pulling away, like literally minutes.
They just made the cut.
And then like we're leaving and Sarah and Shamir are nowhere to be found. So we're all just like it sucks, but we're happy.
Yeah. Definitely feel bad. I mean, it stinks to be like in dead last. Get hey, someone's gotta be eliminated.
Yep.
Better not be us.
Yeah. So
we like had to go in and like get this. The clue from this guy.
He was like the mayor or he was some supervisor guy. Yeah.
And we were in this co-op space where there was like a lot of different parts and people were working on lots of different projects and it was very like industrial feeling.
Yeah.
And it was kind of hard for us to even find where this challenge was at first. We're like going down these different like co-op pathways and, and eventually we figured it out. And the question was, who wants to bang on heavy metal? It sounded physical to create something, and so I immediately said, I want to do it. And I'm very glad I did. It was one of my favorite challenges of the race, for sure, to be able to create something so useful out of just a piece of sheet metal. And it was just so cool to watch how the guy in my stall did it, and he did it so easily and flawlessly and calmly, and he looked like he was like totally in his element and really enjoying himself. And I followed him through. He demonstrated while I just sort of would copy him and find the materials around me to use that he was also using. And at one point, Brooke comes over to my stall crying and says, Becca, like, I need your help, please. So I told her, yeah, I'll come over whenever I finish my ladle. I owed her this point. I was very excited to have the opportunity to pay her back so soon. And so I did go help her, and I actually ended up going over a couple of times to help her. I helped her cut out the circle, and then after I had, like, gotten my clue, I went out, like, it was like, we didn't realize we were in basically racing for first at this point, and was like, should I go back and help her? And Floyd and Scott were like, yeah, definitely go back. I mean, obviously Scott was, but yeah. Floyd was super supportive of it, and it totally felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, she was like super struggling and had been super helpful to us.
Yeah, and like when you went back in there, literally all the other teams like still out there were like, team fun is like the best. Like that was like, wow, we were like saints in their eyes. And I mean, that's not why we, well, kind of was why we did it, because don't you turn us, right? Like think we're nice, but also it did feel like
it felt right. It felt right.
Yeah.
And so I went back and poked a bunch of holes for Brooke. Yeah, it's not great to see all the haters out there being so mean to her. So she's human too.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we raced to Cocoa Beach. And made it minutes behind
Mom
Tara and Joey.
Yeah.
Minutes. They won like $5,000 each that leg.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of a bummer.
But it's okay because
we helped out.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
You can see our like Matt interview on the Races YouTube channel, and it talks about. It's funny because Phil asks us, "Who do you think are the strongest teams left at this point in the race?" And Tara, she literally like your team fun. I'm Tara. She literally goes.
And I think I did the same thing to them.
Yeah, because we both thought Mom and Dad were a really strong team. We didn't, like up until that point they hadn't placed terribly high, but they were strong, and they were also very like secluded from the rest of us, right?
Yeah, they separated themselves in airports, and they never really like joined with the group.
Yeah, they were definitely. We had our eyes on them a lot, and apparently they thought the same of us. So.
Yeah,
cool.
They were definitely a team that we thought weren't going to be an issue, but then, like, Tara's got all this international knowledge, she knows all these languages, and I don't know, they seem to come out, like, pretty high, and higher than we realized, thought they would.
Yeah.
And so they definitely, at that point, stood out as pretty stark competition for us. And, yeah, Sarah and Shamir got eliminated.
Oh, yeah. Which we were shocked, because we thought it was not an elimination leg. Also, like, no other team's gone, so that's nice for us.
Yeah. Odds are increasing.
Yeah. All right, so then we fly to Norway. Best country. So let me tell you what happened on the Norway leg, okay? You know, but like here's how it happened, because it was actually pretty awesome. So we get to the airport, we land in Norway. This is a long flight too, because we're literally going from like a southern part of the earth to like an extreme northern part of the earth. And so we land, we all go through customs. It's self-drive, right? So we had looked up directions in the airport when we had a layover in the UK, I think. And you know how our Google Map directions, they didn't really help us in Panama, but we were still going to try it again in Norway. And we also stopped and got a map too.
That's what helped, yeah. I don't think the Google Map.
No, it was. I didn't even use the map at that point. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I just used the Google Map directions.
Oh, snap.
So...
News to me.
But we still stop and get a map because like there's other locations we have to go.
Nice, I didn't realize that.
So then we race to our car. It's who's ahead of us. It's Brooke and Scott are like in first in their car. Venk and Ashton I think are second.
Right by us.
Yeah, and then we're third, right? So we like are all going towards the Hogsteinenfjord lighthouse, and we like are all going the same way. And like we're like, okay, go this way, go through this underground tunnel, like find this roundabout, like because I was like I had to take detailed foofing directions, right? And then we get to this like final roundabout before you eventually reach the lighthouse. So Scott and Brooke ended up missing the turnoff of the roundabout, and then behind them I think it was Becca and Ashton who just like followed them, and I was like, Becca, no, go straight, Becca.
Exited that roundabout.
And then at first I was like, oh my god, what if we just made the worst mistake ever? Like, what if this is wrong? But then eventually we're like, wait, is that the lighthouse? So then we like get there.
We're
so
like,
we like,
look, how do we get there? We like turn down this little road.
Yeah, like park our car, just start sprinting, eat the fish, which was easy to eat.
It was like super salty. It had been like fermenting underground for months. It was this special delicacy. Mike was like in love with it.
Oh yeah, he was.
But I was not. I mean, it tasted disgusting to me. But like, whatever, you just swallow it. Doesn't matter.
And then so we get our clue.
We got our clue, and we were shocked to see a fast forward. And then we kind of dawned on us because like at this point we're like totally expecting to just like play the express pass, whatever. And we see the fast forward, and we're like, well, it looks like we're in first place right now, and we saw that helicopter on the way over, so, like, let's at least, like, check it out.
Let's see what's up.
And it said, like, go to the helicopter, and so, I mean, at that point, we had no reason not to go for it. And so we did. And it said, like, who wants to, like, take a helicopter ride into the unknown?
Yeah.
Scenic tour of the Norway fjords.
Most beautiful thing ever.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
like truly it's like these canals with like these green covered mountains, just lush covered mountains, and then a rainbow that we literally flew through.
We
flew through a rainbow.
That was insane. It's like, welcome Team Fun to our country. I was like, I love you, Norway. Thank you, Norway. So then we eventually land, see the two people who look like they're wearing some skydiving gear.
And like we had tank tops, t-shirts and tank tops on. We were not dressed to fly up to 10,000 feet and jump out of a plane.
It was cold.
But we did not have time to run back to the car and grab layers. Also still had the quiche hat. Olive lives on with the quiche hat. And which, if you haven't noticed, has been being passed around through different teammates. And fanny packs, like there wasn't a place to store anything. So we just had what was on our body and jumped out of the plane with that. Or at the helicopter.
So like once we like we met the instructors, we signed like a couple quick forms to like, you know, liability and stuff, and then we basically reflew back the entire route. But then like the entire time we were steadily ascending, and then that's when the nerves started like coming. Like I was ready to jump out of this helicopter, but I'm like, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous a little bit.
I wasn't really nervous until I watched, like, till they opened the door and Floyd just, like, drops out into space. And I was like, oh my god, we are definitely about to just fall into space.
It was insane.
And it's different with a helicopter, apparently. I've never skydived out of a plane, but a plane's moving really fast and you kind of get, like, sucked out, I guess. And you don't really get that, like, feeling in your stomach where it like leaves you. But it was a big stomach drop.
It's huge.
It was
and like
so exciting.
as soon as at least I don't know about you, but when I fell out, we like flipped. I was like, ah! And eventually stabilized, and I could see like all this ocean and like the island of Norway, or that specific island, just like coming at me, and I was like, this is insane. But then I couldn't stop laughing after like the first 10 seconds. I was like, this is cool.
I was laughing hysterically the whole time. And they let us like grab the reins, and we like spun in these like steep circles. Did you do that?
Yeah, we did.
It was scary. It was so like dizzying. But land right back at the lighthouse, like so freaking thrilled. Where I cannot believe what just happened. And we're like, we are crushing it right now. We are in first place. We just got to skydive out of a helicopter. We're in Norway. Like, life is good for Team Fun right now.
It was great.
So
Fun meter max. Like, it was insane.
So it's not like we slowed down our pace at all. We kept running. We found our directions. We did not get lost on the way to the pit stop. We were like, we are in first. I remember getting out of the car when we got to the pit stop. And I was like, I don't even feel like I need to run right now. This is the first time I've ever felt like I could just casually walk to the mat and claim first.
and then we get to that and feels like, Floyd and Becca, you have the express pass. We're like, we know, we didn't use it. You got the fast forward, we know, we navigated, you know. And they're like, but you're team number 3. And they were just like, huh? We thought he was joking.
Yeah, because Phil's a pretty snarky guy. He would mess with us like that. He's like, no, seriously, like we don't swallow our pride. And
I think we were only about 5 to 10 minutes behind Matt and Redmond and Joey and Tara. I think because like they had just I can't talk about what happens next. But I think we're only 5 to 10 minutes behind the other two teams, the first 2 place teams. But it's fine because fast forward doesn't always guarantee a first place. It's not the first time it's happened in race history.
It was funny. Vane came up to us soon after that and was like, oh, you guys totally missed out. We got to go skydiving. And we were like, oh, no, you didn't.
You didn't, Vane. No,
we
you
didn't. He was trying to mess with us.
That was funny.
But that was sweet. Matt had a little shout out to me when he was like, oh, Becca would have loved that challenge. Thanks, Matt.
What detour do you think we would have done between the rockets and the kayaking?
That's a good question.
See, I don't know.
I would personally be inclined towards the kayaking.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Watching it. But like before you actually see what it looks like.
But I would rather do that troll thing because that was weird. That was so weird.
It was cool. The trolls were cute. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm in a fairy tale.
Deedle deedle dum deedle deedle dum.
It definitely it did seem like the kayaking was faster though.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, because they both finished
fast,
But again, like, that's something else you realize is, like, when you're watching as a viewer and Phil describes the detours, it's like, you can see what it looks like, right? And like, what it is.
So one seems way more, it's like, of course you do this one.
But when you're just reading it on the paper, we can't tell exactly what it's going to look like, what we're exactly doing, you know what I mean? Like,
you can get a concept.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, so, like, it's much easier to, as a viewer, say you're going to choose this one. When you're living it, you just don't know.
You just don't know. You just don't know. You're in a constant state of, I don't know what is going on.
Fly into the unknown.
Where I am or where I'm going. So Norway is freaking beautiful.
Yeah, it was delicious.
It makes.
Are you guys doing something?
We're just filming like a episode review.
Okay. All right. I wanted to intrude.
Oh, no,
I just wanted you to know you're famous.
Oh, thanks.
I've just been going around to each house telling them.
No way.
Oh, thank you. It's natural. We have fun.
Yes, that's obvious.
So, again, we love talking to people. We love answering questions. I actually posted on my Twitter and Facebook because I had a lot of friends come up to me and they're like, "Sorry if I'm annoying you. You probably get this a lot, but I have a question." I love answering. We love answering questions.
And
like,
sorry if we're not as we want to be more responsive, but it's like we love all the love.
Yeah,
Keep
tweet at us, make fun of us, praise us, say we look like someone you know. I don't know. We've gotten a lot.
Meme us.
Meme us hard. All right, so let's go through some questions. We'll just kind of scroll through them. Ready?
Go for it.
You can answer 12. He says, "Hey, what are your thoughts on Olive and Seth being eliminated so early in the competition? What was your relationship with them? Did you get along? How were they in general? He was so upset when they were gone. They were loved. What are your thoughts?"
They were loved for good reason. Seth and Olive are awesome. We were just in Vegas. Seth was there.
Yeah.
Great people. We got along with them great. It was obviously sad to see them go, but also slightly a relief because they were definitely a standout, super strong team.
Yeah. Flaw Gal says, "How and why did you guys audition? Did you know you would have stranger partners? You guys are my favorite team." So, shucks, thanks. I'll start. So, why did we audition? Because it's the Amazing Race, and you want to be. So, it's actually. So it's December of 2015, right? And on the casting website, it says they're going to run a race between May and August of 2016. And I was 20 at the time, but to be on the race, you had to be 21 by the start of the next race, which I would have been. So I was 20, and I filled out an online application and applied with another member from my marching band, and we applied together. It's funny because when we actually went to submit our video, it said no, because I technically was still 20, but I read the rules and it said you had to be 21 by the start of the race. So I low-key just like set my birth year back a year. I wasn't breaking the rules. I was just like, that's what it said. It said by the start of the race. I'm not 21 yet, but so I set it back a year, submitted it. Then in March, casting director called me saying it was going to be an individual thing. So we did know from that point that we were going to be paired with a stranger, and then the rest just happened. What about you?
I applied. I watched the show from all through elementary, middle, high school. When it was on, and waited, crossing my fingers it would still be on by the time I was 21. And when I was 22, made an audition video with my eldest brother David. Those videos are online. I should post them on my Facebook fan page.
Yeah.
But yeah, applied, got decently far in some interview process the first time we applied, and casting director remembered me from that point, and 5 years later, got a call saying, "We want you, not your brother." And
yeah, so mine was Detour / Roadblock. So what was the hardest challenge that we've done so far? That was Katie Chignell. Katie Chignell. I don't know how to say it.
Hardest detour. Well, I mean, we didn't do the lock challenge, so we lost. We lost that one. That one beat us.
Yeah.
But other than that, building the desk.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'll do this. And again, if you guys could participate in any other game / reality show together, what would it be? The Amazing Race All-Star Edition.
Oh, yeah! All-Stars! Ooh!
Next,
or Dancing with the Stars.
I would love to be on Dancing with the Stars. I would kill. I mean, I actually don't watch Dancing with the Stars, to be honest, but...
I don't either, but it sounds like it'd be so
it'd be awesome. I
like to dance.
Honestly, in another life, I'd want to be a hip-hop dancer, so I grew up watching, like, America's Best Dance Crew, So You Think You Can Dance.
Yep.
I love dancing.
Stuff's amazing.
So, like, casting directors watching this, if you have a show where you're like, we're gonna take an average person who doesn't have any dance skills and put me and us, sorry, Team Fun ready to dance. That was a great question. We'll do